ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in Gym B for the Spanish Fork Recreation 2024 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament. Coming into round 7, we have Patches Houlihan on the left side of your screen and Oops, the first time we've seen them here in Gym B tonight, on the right side. Patches Houlihan with 1 win in competitive play tonight against the Sharks in round 5. We're now in round 7, which means that they've had a round off to take a break and catch their breath. Oops, this is our first time seeing them since round 1 when they played against Ball Dodge and won. Oh, we also saw them in round 3. My mistake. If you've been tuned in with us, you've heard a few stories about some of our teams tonight, the backstories, how these teams came to be. We're going to tell you the accidental legend of Oops. There's 5 Oops players on the right, 5 waiting on the line, 4 waiting on the line, 6 players on the right. It's hard to keep track of. They're dancing all over the place. So let's get back to the legend of Oops. It all started on a Friday night when a group of friends armed with party hats, questionable fashion choices, and a cooler full of liquid courage were en route to a birthday bash at the community center. They were late, as usual, because Jeff insisted on stopping for snacks, and Stacy couldn't decide if her glitter boots were too much. What they didn't know was that fate and a poorly labeled event sign was about to change their lives. Instead of wandering into a room full of streamers and cupcakes, they stumbled into the annual Dodgeball Invitational. Jeff, already munching on a bag of chips, loudly proclaimed, "Well, this party's weird, but I'm into it." Before they could realize their mistake, they were handed jerseys with the name Oops hastily scribbled on the back in Sharpie because apparently, what's your team name is not a rhetorical question. Despite having no idea what was happening, they decided to roll with it. After all, what's the harm in one game? How hard can it be to dodge a ball, Stacy asked, moments before getting clocked in the face by a high-velocity throw from the Fireballers. Their strategy, or lack thereof, quickly became apparent. Jeff used the cooler as a makeshift shield, which somehow wasn't against the rules in those guerrilla games back in the day. Stacy, now fueled by spite, started throwing balls with surprising accuracy, nailing the overly aggressive captain of the Ballistic Bulls square in the chest. Kevin, the self-proclaimed team coach in the moment, spent most of the game yelling, "Dodge, dodge, no, the other way." Meanwhile, their secret weapon, Tina, managed to avoid every ball entirely by sheer accident, tripping over her own feet just as they flew past. By the end of the night, against all odds and possibly some extremely lenient refereeing, Oops made it to the semifinals. The crowd loved their chaotic energy, and their unintentional catchphrase, "Wait, was that ours?" and "Oops, sorry," became instant classics. Oops now down to just 3 players on the field. Though they didn't win the tournament, Kevin eliminated himself by stepping over the line while attempting a victory dance. They did leave with something better, a trophy-shaped cake from the party they eventually found, and a story that would cement them as Dodgeball's unexpected legends. Now, Oops is a household name in Dodgeball circles. They have embraced their accidental roots, still showing up to games in glitter boots, armed with snacks and a cooler that may or may not contain sports drinks. Because sometimes the best teams are the ones that stumble into greatness, literally. It's a tough legend to live up to, but these guys put on a strong showing every time they're out here on the field. Especially our guy in the white. He is no stranger to the 5Ds. Our other players are no slouches as well. They all work hard and fight hard. Because when you're in the game of Dodgeball, you've got to play hard to win. Oops, returning fire, knocking a player out. Patches Houlihan returning fire as well and eliminating a player all the way back down to just 2 versus an almost full strength Patches Houlihan. You'll need to head back to round 5 in the video if you want to hear the story of Patches Houlihan, how they came to be a team. Below in the action as our players size up the competition. Most of the dodgeballs in the hands of Oops, showing that their name is a clever ruse because they know how to play. Tucks the ball, he's out. Oops is knocking them down, whittling them down, whittling them down, whittling them down. Patches of Houlihan, wary but determined to bring back the action, to cinch the win. We're still here in round 1 of match 7 in Gym B. Fire, and a solid hit, and a rebound. We're down to 1 player left for Oops, but she has all 8 dodgeballs on her side. A timer is now in effect. She has only so much time to to change the directory of the game, the direction of the game. She has to sink a basket, which is hard to do. 5 in a row, 6 in a row, but one of the balls was caught. So that means the round goes to Patches O'Houlihan. Here in match 7, the teams will swap sides, and we'll be back right after this. All right, sports fans, we are back in round 2 of match 7 here in Gym B for the Spanish Fork Recreation 2024 Thanksgiving Dodgeball Tournament, and we're off. Our teams have swapped sides. We now have Oops on the left and Patches O'Houlihan on the right. Patches O'Houlihan winning by default in the first round because time ran out on a sole surviving player from Oops. You might say that Oops let them have the win, but would you be right? We'll find out. Maybe they were just trying to lull them into a false sense of security while they bring the thunder and knock them out here in round 2. In order for Oops to clinch the win, though, they're going to have to win this round and the tie-breaking round. Solid throw by Patches O'Houlihan. Following this round, which is round 7, we only have 1 more round here in Gym B before we move on to bracket play for the final competing teams. Pool A is Iconic, Squirtle Squad, Monarch, and Inglorious Dodgers. Pool B, Oops, we dodged it again, their full name, Swolgers, Sharks, Ball Dodge, and Patches O'Houlihan. Pool A is in A Gym, and Pool B here in B Gym. And then the top competing teams from both sides will meet up here in Gym B for final bracket play to decide the one, the only winner. Solid throws with no connections. Nice shoulder hit, but it was a hit, and then his teammate caught it, which means he's in, and the person that threw the ball is out. That's the way the dodgeball crumbles. Solid throw. It's always interesting to me to observe our athletes out here and to pick up telltale signs of the different types of sports they compete in when they're in the off season for dodgeball. You clearly have softballers, baseball players, footballers, soccer players, bowlers even, and occasionally the odd golf swing. Down to 5 out of 10 players remaining on the right. And 5 on the left. Just that quickly, teams are even back up again. Dodgeball is a game of give and take. It is definitely a back and forth. You never know. And a boom goes the dynamite. That's probably trademarked by that one guy. Travis, yeah, better edit that out. We're down to just 3 players remaining on the left deck quickly versus 4 on the right. Our judges watching with a weather and wary and careful eye. And a swing. Got about a dodgeball off into the audience. Takes out an unsuspecting child. Looks like he's going to be okay. 3 players versus 3 players. It's still anybody's game. Our player in the pink and blue on the left was the sole remaining player a few matches back. Had a really good opportunity to get a muddy ball in and came so close. But close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. Ooh, that was a pretty solid deflect. The judge didn't see it, so it's ruled safe. moving on. Oh, and that's an out. No question about it. 2 versus 3. 2 versus 3. Oh, goes for the ground, cuts and misses. One player left on the right. Still anybody's game. The money ball is now in effect. So they got 3 players left. A swing and a miss. Right off the back shoulder. Money ball's up. Money ball's up. Not quite. But there is a timer in effect now, so if the time runs out, then and a catch, which means he's out. A very solid attempt. Well fought. Patches of Houlihan will now move to the right side, and then Oops will move to the left, and we'll be right back after this. All right, sports fans, we are back in round 3, the tie-breaking round. Our first time making it to round 3 for any of our games tonight, I think. We've got Patches O'Houlihan on the left side of your screen and Oops on the right. Both teams with 1 win each in this match 7 here in the B Gym. Actually, we saw this once before in round 1 when Oops took a win and Ball Dodge took a win. So it really could go either direction. Both teams with a lot to prove and a lot to lose here. Patches O'Houlihan with 1 win earlier tonight, and Oops also with 1 win earlier tonight. This win could mean moving on to bracket play for either team. Judge calls the guy in the pink shorts out. Oops on the right, happy with the call. Patches O'Houlihan, unworried, not worried. Ready to continue on. Whew, that ball flew past him like a shooting star in the night. Oh, solid hit. He knocks him right onto his back. Oh, goes for the catch. And he misses. That ball slipped through his hands like water through a sieve. Sometimes that's the way it is. These things are almost like liquid. You try to grab them and they slide right through your fingers. But if you touch it and don't catch it, you're out. Just like that, a solid out for number 14 on the right. Almost had to catch it. Here's the thing, though. If you don't catch it, it bounces off you and your teammate catches it. You're still in. Patches O'Houlihan down to just 4 players remaining versus an almost full strength Oops on the right. Oh, and she's out, down to just 3. Patches O'Houlihan seem to have forgotten their own motto. The 5 Ds of dodgeball, which you've heard me repeat ad nauseum tonight. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, dodge. Solid advice for anyone. Not just dodgeballers, but anyone in life. At what point in your life have you not been in a situation where you thought, boy, if I had just dodged, ducked, dipped, dived, or dodged out of the way, I'd still have all my teeth. We're down to just 2 players left here on the left, but that doesn't mean that they can't make a strong comeback. We've seen it turn around just as quickly tonight here in the dodgeball arena. Don't forget, friends, complacency kills, so the players on the right might be more confident, but are they going to get overconfident? No, I don't know. We're down to just 1 left. On the left, 2 nice reflections. Goes for, it doesn't count, it's a dead ball. And a solid catch, that means Oops cinches the win here in round 3 of match 7. We will go to break and we'll come back for our final round here in Gym B before bracket play.